Carrie Underwood has always been one of country music's most beloved voices and one of the most relatable celebrities in the industry, often speaking openly about her faith, family, and the challenges of balancing life under the spotlight. But this week the star shared something that left even her most loyal fans stunned and talking across social media platforms. In a lengthy emotional post, Carrie revealed that while she was in a quiet moment of prayer inside her Tennessee home, she sensed what she described as a creature lurking near her, a presence that she could not see but could feel so strongly that it made her stop mid-prayer and look around the room. The revelation immediately set the internet ablaze with reactions from shocked fans, spiritual leaders, paranormal enthusiasts, and even skeptics who all weighed in on what might have happened. According to Carrie, she had been kneeling on the rug in her home studio, a room she often uses for songwriting and prayer, when she felt the atmosphere change. She explained that her dogs, who were in another part of the house, suddenly went silent, which caught her attention. She then felt an energy shift and became aware of something behind her, though she could not hear footsteps or see movement. She described the sensation as both chilling and oddly calm at the same time, as if she were being observed but not threatened. In her words, it was like someone was standing there quietly, waiting for her to finish praying. She turned around and saw nothing, but the experience was so vivid that she later told her husband Mike Fisher and a close friend, who encouraged her to share it with fans. Carrie's post immediately went viral, with thousands of fans commenting, sharing their own similar experiences, and offering prayers of protection and comfort. Many of her followers saw it as a spiritual encounter, perhaps an angelic presence meant to reassure her during what has been a busy and emotionally heavy season in her life. Others were more unnerved, speculating that it could have been something paranormal, something that might be connected to the land her home sits on in rural Tennessee, which has a long history dating back to the 1800s. Some fans even urged her to have the property blessed or sagged as a precaution. What makes this revelation even more fascinating is that sources close to Carrie say this was not an isolated incident. In fact, she has reportedly been feeling unusual sensations around the house for weeks. But this was the first time it happened during prayer, which struck her as significant because her prayer life has always been a central part of who she is. Carrie has long spoken about her faith being the foundation that keeps her grounded in the whirlwind of fame, and she has credited prayer for getting her through some of the hardest moments in her life, including her struggles with fertility in the past and her recovery from a serious fall several years ago that left her with injuries to her face and wrist. So for something like this to happen in the very moments when she feels closest to God is something that clearly moved her deeply. Entertainment insiders have been quick to point out that moments like these often make their way into Carrie's music. She has a long history of writing or recording songs that deal with faith, perseverance, and the unseen forces that shape our lives. Her fans are already speculating that her next album may feature songs inspired by this moment, perhaps even darker, more introspective ballads reminiscent of her earlier work on albums like Blown Away, which contained haunting themes and powerful storytelling. Several prominent pastors and faith leaders have also weighed in on the story, praising Carrie for being bold enough to share such a vulnerable experience with the public. One pastor wrote that many believers experience spiritual encounters during prayer but often stay silent for fear of being dismissed or ridiculed. By speaking up, Carrie has opened the door for others to talk about their own experiences and encouraged people to be more aware of the presence of God in their lives. Meanwhile, paranormal investigators have been intrigued by the story. Some have suggested that the creature she felt may not have been malevolent at all, but simply a spirit or energy tied to the land or the house. One investigator even offered to visit the property and perform a reading to determine if there are any lingering energies or histories connected to the home. Skeptics, of course, have dismissed the story as nothing more than heightened emotion or the natural effects of being alone in a quiet space for a prolonged period of time. But Carrie's fans have been quick to defend her character, noting that she has never been one to fabricate drama for attention and that her life is already full enough of headlines without needing to invent ghost stories. This moment comes at a time when Carrie has been juggling an incredibly busy schedule between her ongoing Las Vegas residency, her work on new music, and her role as a mother to 2 young boys. She has often spoken about the need to find stillness amid the chaos, and perhaps this moment was exactly that, a strange reminder to pause and reflect on the bigger picture. Those close to her say she is not frightened but more fascinated and contemplative about what the moment meant. She has reportedly been reading more scripture and journaling about the experience as a way to process it and draw closer to God. Fans have taken to Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram to share their thoughts, with many writing that they too have experienced a presence during prayer. Some described it as peaceful, others as frightening, but most agreed that Carrie sharing her story made them feel less alone. One fan even started a thread compiling similar stories from other celebrities who have spoken about spiritual or paranormal experiences, including Dolly Parton and Reba McEntire. Turning Carrie's post into a broader conversation about faith and the supernatural in country music culture. Industry watchers are curious to see whether Carrie will speak about this more publicly in interviews or on stage during her shows. She has a reputation for being open and thoughtful when connecting with her audience, and many believe she may eventually share more details when she feels ready. For now, the story continues to dominate entertainment news cycles, with outlets debating whether this was a spiritual sign, a ghostly visitation, or simply a moment of deep spiritual awareness. One thing is certain: Carrie Underwood has once again reminded the world why she is one of the most compelling figures in music today, unafraid to share her heart, her fears, and her faith with the millions who look up to her as she continues to navigate life in the public eye. This strange but beautiful moment of prayer and mystery may become another defining chapter in her journey. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our Talent Spotlight Adult YouTube channel for more update news.